Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the first video of 2021. Woo! Let's hope it's going to be a better year. Let's hope we get to Disney World this year. Fingers crossed. So for the first video of this year, we're going to do a tier list. Kick it back to old school vibes. I was doing these this time last year and they're so much fun. And Soul just came out on Disney Plus. And I saw a lot of people posting tweets ranking their favourite Pixar movies in order. But I thought, let's just up it a bit and do a full-on tier list. We're going to include every Pixar film from Toy Story through to Soul. Come along for the ride. We've got the 5 tiers. I'm quite proud of the name.
Oh, what are they?
So the top tier is Simply Incredible. They're all like kind of loosely based off of Pixar films. Simply Incredible, fantastic film, we can't fault it. Then we have To Infinity. We're not quite To Infinity and Beyond, but we're To Infinity. So like it's really good, but it's not quite and beyond. Then we have Finding Its Heart, like Finding Nemo. It's still like, it's good, but it's not got everything in it. Then we have The OK Dinosaur. I don't know if The Good Dinosaur is that good of a film. So
have you seen it?
I have seen it. I've seen it a few times. We'll get onto that. And the last tier is this Pixar.
Are any of them worthy of that tier?
Let's get into it and see. I hope I'm not going to offend anyone here. Let's, as we always like to do, establish the tier system. I'm going to go for a Simply Incredible film with Toy Story 2.
That's what I was thinking
I honestly do think it's the best Pixar film. Like, the fact that also it was supposed to be a direct-to-home movie release, and then they were like, no, it's not good enough, let's up the ante here, and they ended up making their best film yet.
Daddy, you told me this, that they like literally changed the whole plot like
really close to the
8
deadline.
months
Like, they
before
threw
or
it all out.
something.
Yeah, crazy.
And then they were like working insane hours.
Yeah,
and
it's just so, the plot is so good, and the way they expand the universe, like Al's Toy Barn, that scene when
he's making the toy,
and
he's
they're
like
doing
fixing
his
him.
art.
And also like you know what I'm talking about, the Emily scene. Like it's just so, the fact that it's so simple and you wouldn't expect that kind of simple, just sad scene in a Pixar film. In a kids film, you just wouldn't expect it. But
That's the thing, Pixar films aren't kids films, especially we've seen with Soul. We'll get onto that.
That could be a whole essay.
Yeah, the Emily scene, and they don't even speak. They really took a gamble on that, and like they think that kids are gonna sit through that scene, and absolutely they do.
Yeah,
and it makes them never want to get rid of a toy again. I know, I was like, no, I can't get rid of my toys.
Emily.
So let's get on to Infinity, a film that's like really good, but we're not saying it's quite up there. I'm gonna go with, very topically, Ratatouille. That one. Yeah, I would like to watch the Ratatouille musical later. I'm gonna put it into Infinity. What do you think? Because I feel like it's
I agree.
Really,
I'm happy with that choice.
the soundtrack with Leflistine and the and it makes me want to eat food so much.
So many funny moments, a lovely heartwarming story, good characters, it's interesting.
When you hear it on paper, it's like a rat cooking in a French kitchen.
What I would like to know is what came first?
Yeah.
The kind of title and the pun of like, a rat that makes ratatouille, or the whole story, and then they were like, oh actually that could work, let's call it Ratatouille.
I would like to know, because
that's a bigger debate than what came first, the chicken or the egg.
I feel like I would like someone to have been eating Ratatouille one day and gone, Ratatouille, and then going in and be like, guys, this is the next film. Then we go on to Finding Its Heart. I'm gonna go Finding Dory.
Yeah, agree with that,
because it's good.
I don't think I've really watched it.
Each time I watch it, I do like it more, but the first watch, the overall feeling I had when I came away from the cinema was,
it was like fine.
We waited so long for it, and that's what they came up with, and it didn't even get nominated for an Oscar, which was a bit of a snub. It was kind of like that time when there were so many Pixar sequels coming out, and that one being released was kind of proving people's theory of like, we didn't need them.
Yeah.
Then we go on to the OK Dinosaur. For this, I'm gonna go with Cars 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen,
you haven't seen the Cars film, so you can't comment. I'm gonna go for Cars. This one's Cars 3. I have seen a lot of discourse lately on Twitter where people are saying Cars 3 is not a bad movie. No, it's not a bad movie, but like, it's not one I'm reaching for. I'm not getting excited about it. And compared to the original Cars, it's really not the best, but it's so much better than Cars 2, which is going in the Is This Pixar tier. Because Cars 2, is it even on this list? Oh yeah, Cars 2 is not great. It's not great. And if my friend Sam sees this, he's gonna be like, no, he knows Cars 2 is not great. He's obsessed with Cars. Yeah, you need to watch. Have you seen Cars, the movie? You would really like it. You've been to Carsland, right?
I know, it was really good.
Carsland
slaps.
It's spectacular. Like everything about it, the aesthetic. I would like to go to Float.
And the
Let Go Be a Dream. And when the lights go down at night and they play that song. can't be topped. I don't know where I want to put Cars yet though. I don't want to come to Cars quite yet.
I'm not ready for that moment.
Yeah. Pick a film, Alice. Pick a film that you would like to talk about.
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. What are you going to go for?
Oh, I think that's simply incredible.
I agree. Yes. I think it's...
It's just
that
so
title sequence.
funny.
I normally skip those kind of things, but I want to watch every single part of that.
Also
And
the credits.
yeah, everything about that film, so good.
Oh,
2319.
say your fact.
What's my fact?
Your fact that you told me about they're supposed to build a ride.
So I actually learned when I was on my Disney program, I went to a kind of like Disney heritage course, that they were going to do a Monsters Inc. ride in Hollywood Studios, and it was going to be like the door thing and everything.
Because every time, I don't know about you, every time we watch that scene, it's like, this should be a ride.
They were going to do it, but then they had the whole plans, and then it was like this whole exciting thing, and they took it to the kind of like logistics side, and to do it, they would have to completely move the like electrical power center for Hollywood Studios, and immediately the plan was just written off and never seen again. How
So
tragic
sad.
is that?
Couldn't they just done it somewhere else?
Yeah, but they literally were like, nope, it's done, shut down.
That would just be so disheartening, like
Gutting.
working so hard on something.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll get something else. Obviously we've got a Monsters Inc. ride over in California Adventure, but
That is a cute time.
yeah, but it's not anything special. I would
No.
love it.
And
Okay.
Laugh Floor is hilarious.
Lava is also hilarious, yeah, especially when you go more in the evening and it's like
Yeah.
more adults. I really like it. Okay, another to infinity film. I'm gonna go with Up for me.
Okay, yep, I get that.
Because
I'm agreeing with these so far.
Okay, yeah. I love the opening sequence and the aesthetic of Up. Like, the balloons are beautiful. Someday I would love to find my car and be the Ellie and have that, you know, have adventure.
So cute.
But once they get to Paradise Falls and they have the whole like dogs talking thing and like
And Kevin.
No, I love Kevin. I love Kevin.
No, but I'm talking about that kind of
that part
time.
of it.
Yeah,
That part of it. The plot for me kind of loses it. I'm not invested in it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, well, he basically got there. Like,
I feel like it's not as it
almost
just
could
kind
have
of
been a great short.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's just like it's dragged on quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't.
The first bit is so good.
And then they're like flying on an airplane, and then like Mr.
evil
Frederickson,
guy.
who is so old, is like dangling from a plane, and like it's not very. I was gonna say not believable, which obviously like moving your house is not believable. But I just don't feel like the second half. Yeah, the film is going to infinity and it's not going beyond.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, now let's go to Finding It's Hard for Me is Onward. Because feels a bit like a DreamWorks film for me. It's not getting Is This Pixar because it's like it does have that punch. Oh, sorry, I'm just
turning my phone off. I was actually just turning my phone off vibrate so it wouldn't interrupt anymore.
The ending really like punches you in the feels with the whole like the dad thing.
I was in floods of tears, if I be honest.
Yeah,
I found it so sad.
It does hit. But I'm just not like throughout. I'm like, okay, I'm on a quest. Like it feels like very like classic adventure-y.
Yeah, but what I really liked about it is that it was kind of like in this world. The fact they had like all that tech and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I liked it, but like
I did think it was a really good film. I think it's like top of Finding Its Heart.
Okay. Move on to. I'm gonna go for Bug's Life in the OK Dinosaur. I know it was like revolutionary for the crowd scenes and everything, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, yeah, it is funny, but I feel like it's because the content for me. I'm not like a bug person. I'm not interested. I don't know, I just find it hard to not relate to it, but it's just not my favourite thing.
Not really related.
I watched it recently and I was like, oh, maybe I actually will like it more, but I wasn't really vibing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's
You haven't
nothing
seen it in a while.
incredible. Yeah, I'm not reaching for it.
And while we're there, I'm gonna put The Good Dinosaur going, Is This Pixar? The Good Dinosaur is weird. The story is just not fully fleshed out. Like, it does feel very much like a throwaway film. There's a reason no one was talking about it, and they didn't really put much effort into the marketing of it, and I feel like they almost knew that it wasn't great. The soundtrack's beautiful. I listened to the soundtrack, but I'm gonna put it just above Is This Pixar? Yeah, in class 2. No one's gonna say like that's their favourite film.
No.
It's the forgotten film. So that's where it's gonna go, Is This Pixar as well, because a lot of people probably don't think it is. Now let's come to...
I feel like we need to talk about another one of the Toy Stories.
Yeah, I was just
Quite
thinking
a few.
that. For me, Toy Story 3 is gonna go into infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's such a good film.
A good film.
The whole, like, I know people talk about the scene when they're in the furnace, but for me, it's the part when they're on the doorstep and he's like giving the toys away.
And he's like, so long, partner.
Yeah, and it's like the feeling he's like going off to college and like his new period.
Oh my god, I literally found that so sad. That film made me emotional about going off to university when I was like 12.
Yeah,
whenever it came
just like moving on to new life stages, and we got like loads of new characters, but it felt very organic.
Yeah, like Bonnie.
We have a niece called Bonnie now.
And also like the Ken scene in the Barbie dream house. I love that.
Yeah, I just think it's a very well done movie, but it's not as good as Toy Story 2.
No.
Because I'm not putting it in the top tier. And also the way they animated like the play school scenes, like you could tell Pixar had really expanded and how many different places and characters they were animating at once.
I don't think this is that controversial, but that's kind of where the Toy Story saga should have ended.
Yeah, Toy Story 4
just wasn't necessary.
No, it wasn't necessary, but I feel like I'm gonna put it in Finding Its Heart still.
I think so, yeah.
Because like it's not like a bad film, but if everyone was like, if someone goes to me, oh, let's watch a Toy Story, I'm never gonna go, oh, let's go for 4.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna pick
that the Shreks. You're gonna pick 4?
Yeah. Although it's so much better than Shrek 4.
Oh yeah.
But it's never one I'm gonna reach for. And the animation is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the plot just felt a bit jumpy, just like all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel like there was a direct line. It was like, we're in the shop,
it just
and
felt
then we're
unnecessary.
here, and then we're here, and then we're here. And they tried to justify it and be like, oh, you know, the Toy Story films are about Woody's arc.
To complete Woody's arc.
No.
I think Woody's arc was pretty complete.
We didn't need it. I enjoyed it, but we didn't need it. Okay, now should we just do the last Toy Story, which I feel like has to go in Simply Incredible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean it's not as good as Toy Story 2 as well, but like I would watch either of those very happily.
Yeah,
they're definitely
just like the whole Pizza
Planet. Yeah,
like,
I love the Pizza Planet.
Just so many funny moments.
And just the look of it, even though when you look at it now, if you watch Toy Story 4 versus Toy Story 2, the animation style is
also the fact that Andy and all his friends have the exact same face. Like if you watch that scene, all of the friends all have the same face.
It does show that like story is the king. To create a Catamall, like if it's a good story, it doesn't matter how good the animation is.
Yeah,
like, yes, animation has advanced like crazy, and this was so advanced at its time, but it stands up even though it looks so, yeah, it's all about the story. Okay, let's go for, okay, so I have to put Inside Out in Simply Incredible. I just love Inside Out so much. It's one of my all-time favorite films.
Really?
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. The characters, when I met Joy and Sadness, I always had like the best interactions with them. The colours of the memory balls, the aesthetic, the whole like interplay between like feeling like you have to be happy all the time and then sadness, being like actually no, there is a time when you have to be sad. Like the message is so strong. Riley, the ending when they're like, Riley's 12 now, what could happen? I just think it's so well done. I love all the different personalities, and it's such an intriguing concept inside your mind, and it had never been done before, and I thought it was so funny as well as so much heart. It was done so well. I love it a lot.
I'm just really loving this fangirl moment that's going on. I just don't want to interrupt it.
I just really like Inside Out. I have a lot of passion about it. Also at uni, I was the joy of our friendship group. There was 5 of us.
I think when I start my friendship group, I'm Joy as well.
Yeah, I really love it. What do you think about the placement?
Yeah, happy with that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I'm like quite on the level of you with it, but you know, I'm not gonna fight it.
Okay.
I haven't actually watched that in a long time.
I watched it recently.
I would quite like to watch it.
I watched it the other day. I asked you if you wanted to watch it with us. I literally said to you, we're watching Inside Out over video call. Do you want to watch? And you said no.
Oh yeah, I just wasn't in the mood. But now you've sold it to me, I'm like, oh, I'm actually you're a good sales girl.
What can I say? I went to merchandise 2 summers. Okay, Incredibles has to go in the Incredibles tier because this was the first film I remember being like really into with Pixar. I remember even having the Argos catalogue, and they had all the different portable DVD players and the TVs, and the screenshot that was on all of them was The Incredibles. I was like, oh, I love that film. Like 7 or 8, and I was just so into it, and I just think it's again such a smart film. All the different things they had in that movie that advanced the technology, like water, they did humans, they did fire, so many different. Why are you looking at me?
No, it's just funny, it's just cute.
I just think it's so advanced for its time, and there's such a strong story as well. Like the characters and the family dynamic, and there are so many moments that I just think are iconic.
It's true. Like, and the fact
I'm not a superhero person.
The fact they've all got like yeah, it's a superhero story, but it's not like unrelatable. It has heart, and it is like a family. And I love how they've all got such unique characters as well, and interesting characters. It's not just like, oh, the daughter, the son. It's like they have this depth to them, and they all have their different skills. It's funny as well.
It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest Pixar films.
Mr. Incredible can be all strong, but also he can be like, it's like relatable, like family troubles as well.
It's a normal family story, but with incredible people.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. Okay, now let's go to, this is controversial because I know for a lot of people this is like Pixar's greatest film, but WALL-E for me is going in Finding Its Heart.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
Because if you sat down and said to the average person, tell me the plot of WALL-E, I don't think they'd really know what it was.
Yeah, true.
Like, people talk about how the first half of the film, there's like no speaking, whatever, and it's really cute. But do you actually know what it's about? The plot's not that strong. It's like, yes, we all had to leave Earth because we destroyed it, and then we've gone to this place and we've all got fat and sat around a lot, and then it's like, oh my gosh, we need to go back to Earth. The plot isn't that great. That's what I'm going to say on that. What do you think? What's your thoughts on Wall-E?
I mean, yeah, I just think it's unfortunate it's in the Finding Its Heart. That's the name of the tier because it, you know, like,
it has heart.
It has heart.
Yeah, don't say that.
But
the
like,
name's...
it's just in the third tier. Kind of thing.
Yeah, in the same way like the okay dinosaur, the good dinosaur isn't in that tier. Like, they're just kind of, it's a kind of a name for where its position is. Top, middle, whatever. I know people are going to have a lot of problems with that one, so comment down below what you think.
Let's talk about Monsters University.
I think that's a great film. I'm going to go...
Love this film.
I
think To Infinity.
Yeah, To Infinity, I'm going to put that on as well.
This film did not...
They did so much research on it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's so accurate. And also I was on Tumblr at the time when this came out. I was a big Tumblr girl. And they marketed it on Tumblr. Like, they did exclusive kind of animation screenshots, like touring you around the university as if they were like a college student marketing. Like, they had it spot on. There were so many dynamics about it that felt like realistic but also age appropriate.
Yeah, because I kind of loved it, because I think everyone expects it when they said they were doing another Monsters Inc. They're like, oh, it's gonna be Boo grown up and like she's not gonna care about them anymore. But I kind of loved how, because all the people who had watched university when they were younger were kind of at the age where they were going to college, university, or thinking about it. So it kind of really, like, it really fit. Yeah. And so many like just funny moments. I love seeing like the
things up like Randall, like take off the glasses, and then so it's like. And that's how we know that he's like that. Like, so many.
And the fact that like the Randall, the first time you see him, it's all in the shadow, and you're like, oh my god. And then he's like an absolute freak. Like, it's just genius. I think it's so funny.
Okay, now let's go to... These are all the ones that I'm like kind of struggling with.
Yeah, I feel like we've left the
ones I'm kind of finding really hard. Okay, I'm gonna put Coco in Finding Its Heart.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Great film. Amazing animation.
So sad.
Parts when they like unveil the whole afterlife and like it's all glittery and beautiful, but I don't know, for some reason it's not one I want to watch over and over again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's an accurate depiction of it.
Okay. Yeah, Finding Its Heart.
Beautiful. It's a good story. You know?
The ending again, like feel. But yeah, it's
I'm not reaching for it.
No. Okay, let's go to. Okay, so Finding Nemo I need to talk about because Finding Dory is in the Finding Its Heart tier. I think Finding Nemo is better than Finding Dory, but it's not in To Infinity tier.
Yes.
So should we like maybe move this around so this one is more like
down
there, and then we'll put it in there.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just not a big fish fan. I think Dory is really funny and there's a lot of heart to it and it's really good, but I don't know, I think I'm always someone who gravitates more to like
humans.
The more human stories, which I'm looking at the top and I'm like, I've got superheroes and toys.
Inside out.
People in your brain, monsters. I don't know. I just don't, it feels more, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just, it's in that pit. Oh God, what did I just do? I just knocked the tripod. Now I'm gonna just move on and come to Cars, which I'm gonna put it at the top of its Finding Its Heart here. I think I like the land more than the movie, but it does have a really good soundtrack and I love the look of
it's like Finding Nemo. Like, I like the musical more than
I love the look of it and I think it's really great, but I don't think it was made for me. It does feel like it was more made for little kids and their toys.
Yeah,
like it does feel like it was quite a not money grab. Well, they made 3 movies in very quick for a time, but I do, it feels a bit, it wasn't aimed at me. Whereas the other films in Pixar often I feel like they're for the whole family, whereas this one it felt very much like this is for the little boys to collect their cars.
It's that most successful movie, isn't it?
It is
Cars
huge
in like Pixar
Cars
ever. It's like ridiculous.
It is massive. They made them very quickly, so maybe sacrifice some quality a little bit, but anyway, move on. For me, Brave is in the To Infinity tier. I love Brave so much. The look of it, the songs, the whole like mother-daughter relationship, the setting, the visuals.
Mend the bond, turn by
I think it's beautiful, and the whole like strong independent woman. I feel like she walked so Elsa could run. So what do you think? Yeah. Like, I know that they're from different studios, but I'm putting her in the To Infinity tier. And I know a lot of people don't like Merida. I don't understand why. She also has like a full-on meet and greet in Magic Kingdom, so obviously enough people like her. And
it's always the line. I had a great time meeting her. She was really fun.
Although her accent, oh my god, it was so funny. I went with my roommate and she's Scottish, and as soon as Lana was like, hi, and like Merida realised that the person she was meeting was Scottish, she didn't really talk a lot. I think Merida was like, maybe my accent has been a bit compromised from being in America for a while, but she did not have a lot to say. Okay, Incredibles 2 for me is a simply incredible movie, but I don't think you agree.
Yeah, I just don't think it's on the level of the ones that are in Simply Incredible. Like, I think it was a good film, but I think it's nowhere near that level of greatness. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna then put it top of tier Infinity because I do think it's like a really, really, really good film. But I think I'm biased because The Incredibles for me are like childhood. So when I saw the second one, for me that was like, oh my god, yeah. I just think it's so funny with Jack as well, like finding all his different powers, and I feel like it's got a lot of heart. And Mr. Incredible thinks he's being recalled to do just like, naturally we want Elastigirl, and she's like, I'm gonna go do the mission. Like, I don't know, I really love that. And I also saw it in my second program, so it's like nostalgia and everything. So yeah, and now we come to Soul. What do you think of it, Alice?
I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, it's just such a lovely film, and you know, it's got soul. Yeah, I just thought it was really lovely. I mean, I think the ending, I don't think it was necessary that they were like, oh, you get a second chance. I think they could have just been like, okay, I've just died, like I'm giving the girl her chance at her happy life. Okay, she's going to Earth, and then he just goes off. You know what I mean? I feel like that would have been a nice ending.
What I quite liked about that though is like he's going back to Earth. He's kind of achieved his like big thing he got to perform with Dorothea Williams, but realised that's not the be all and end all, and like now he's gonna go back and just live life, and it's not all about one goal.
I really loved about the thing like, oh, like that's her purpose, like finding out, and they're just like, that's not your and no. I love that whole like one thing. You don't need one thing, that's your purpose, just live life, like your spark, like that's and I was like, when it all clicked together, because I've watched like I watched some videos in the aftermath to kind of like see other people's opinions, and the more I like read about it and hear about it, the more I love it, because I'm someone who very much is like, oh, that's a pretty leaf, or like I want to kind of like find something in every day that I think is really nice, like even getting a nice coffee or just seeing a friend or like a nice sunset. I'm very much that person. These are small moments, so I really like how they stress that that's what life is about. It's not about these big achievements. And also I loved he achieved his dream, then he stood there and he was like, I don't feel any different. Yeah,
and I think that's really powerful. I think it was also amazing that it had like a black lead. I know we still got the problems with them becoming not humans for a big period of the movie, but I feel like, you know, again, we're getting there. He spent quite a lot of the movie. I don't know, that's still another problem that always seems to happen with Princess and the Frog. Like, Tiana spends most of the movie as a frog. Like, we need to address that. But I thought that was great. The soundtrack's really good. I've been listening to it. As you can tell, I love soundtracks. We talk about this a lot in the movies. I did feel like the start was a bit jumpy, and a bit like too much exposition. Like, this is what we do here, and this is what we do here, and this is what we do here. This is the great before. This is the great beyond.
I love discovering all the different things.
Yeah, but it did feel, wow. It felt a bit like they were like, we've got to tell you all this information so we can move on with the movie. Like, for me, it felt a little bit heavy on that and a bit disconnected. I love the second half so much when they like went back to Earth and like the cat was in, yeah, the wrong bodies and stuff. I thought it was really great. I don't know where to put it because I've only seen it the one time. What do you think?
I think it's to infinity.
You think?
Throwing it out there.
For me, I think it's more like, because I've only seen it the one time, again, it feels really incongruous to the title of the tier. I would say the Finding Its Heart tier.
I disagree.
Because I don't think the stories are strong in terms of like the pacing of it. It feels like it wasn't a kids movie at all. A kid would not appreciate this. I'm also very intrigued by the merch because they did not create opportunities for merch here, and I know that a part of every movie development is like meeting consumer products and realizing where we're gonna get merch from, and there's like not really any merch opportunities in this. Like, I don't know, for me it's going like a top of Finding Its Heart, and I know people are gonna have a lot of thoughts on that, so that's what I would like to hear. I want you to comment down below your thoughts on Soul and your favourite parts of it. I know I did put an Instagram box up already asking, and generally people really enjoyed it, but there were some people who felt a bit like it didn't quite land for them. So I would love to hear like full opinions down below and what you think about this tier list. I do feel like I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. What do you think? Is there any that you like really disagree on?
Soul. There's none I'm really mad about. Okay. I mean, I think what I'd do is I'd swap Incredibles 2 and Soul. That would be what I'd do.
Oh no, that's very wrong. That's very wrong. I was thinking, the reason I wasn't putting it in Finding Its Heart is because like it's nowhere near as good as Incredibles 2. So that's why I was like, it can't go up there. It's not on the level of like Up and Ratatouille. Ask me again in a year's time when I've watched it a bunch of times.
Yeah, you might think differently.
We'll see. Again, in a year's time, who knows what we'll be? I don't know. Maybe my opinion.
Who knows what new Pixar film we'll have?
Yeah, that's my tier list. If you enjoyed the video, even if you disagreed with the opinion, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, comment down below your opinions. Subscribe for more fun. I'm trying my best. I'm in tier 4 over here. But
coming to Gala Wonderland as well for more fun.
Yep, get that promo in. And I hope you're having a good start to 2021. Could be worse than 2020. I did see the other day actually, people said let's hope that 2021 is absolute reverse of 2020, and that we have a really bad first few months and then the rest of the year is amazing. Fingers crossed that that comes true. I love you. See you next time. Goodbye. Bye.